We're talking about movies. Alright, so with the release of Hogwarts Legacy, a video game which looks good, but I will probably honestly never play, hold on to your broomsticks because we're ranking all 8 Harry Potter movies. Now, point of reference before we get into this, I am not the biggest Potterhead in the world. I grew up with hearing things about the franchise, so honestly I knew a little bit more about it than I wish I knew going into the movies. I wish it would have gone in clean. But I've seen the films series through twice now. The first time I was kind of like trying to understand stuff, kind of figure it out. Second time I was able to enjoy it a little more because I understood more of what was going on. So I can't tell you like the random objects in the background and the history of this or that, but I can tell you how I rank all 8 films. How about that for a transition? So warning before we get into these real quick, I am talking spoilers. These movies have been out for a really long time, so I'm gonna break it down. I'm not going like in depth every single thing that happens, but there are spoilers in this video, so you've been warned. So we gotta start with number 8. Now, off the top, I do not think that any of these movies are bad. I think the whole series is really good, but one of them has to be last, and it's not a bad movie, but I think Order of the Phoenix was the weakest one of the bunch. It's in the middle where the story starts to kind of get going, and I don't know, I just think it's kind of weird with the thing with the orb, where they have they say something about the prophecy, but it's not very well explained or given the information about why Voldemort wants it. I was just kind of confused about it. I thought it was kind of shot kind of weird too. One positive thing of this movie is I think it does the best job of really any movie off the top of my head, where it really makes you hate the villain. That lady in the pink is the most hated character I could ever think of, and I just want Dumbledore to hit her with a bus. Like, the whole time you're just rooting for her to lose. So the movie does do really well with that, giving you an antagonist to hate. But I just thought, like, compared to all the other movies, all the setup and everything, it's just not as strong as the other ones. So that's why I have it here at 8. So at number 7, I got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So now this is the first one. I know it's a classic. A lot of people love this one. But I think that when you go back and watch it with the whole series, it does feel a little dated. And obviously it's necessary to set up the world and set up a lot of stuff going on. But I mean, the whole thing with the villain was just kind of thrown in there at the end. It's not something you can really figure out. It's just like, oh yeah, it was this guy. And now, like I said, the introduction to all the characters is really good. And it's kind of an all-time classic. But just when you stack it up against the other ones, it's just not as strong. And I think that, Dumbledore's not really in it that much, low-key. I do think it's funny at the end when he just throws Gryffindor all these points when that's not how it works. But yeah, so it's not a bad movie. It's a classic. It's just stacking up with the other ones, just number 7. So number 6, I got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now this one is honestly kind of a exact copy of Sorcerer's Stone. They both have this hidden room within Hogwarts that you're trying to get into, and then at the end it's just oh, here's the bad guy, he's there. And it's also not something you can really guess. I guess this one was a little more clever with that. But I mean, nobody sees this giant snake going around the school. Really, it's huge. But I mean, it's still a good movie. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. I know John Williams scored this, and Attack of the Clones both came out in 2002, and you hear a little bit of that score in there crossing over. I think that I was a little confused at this point of how alive/dead Voldemort was. I thought it was kind of funny that he writes out his name and then he just scribbles it out that says, "I am Lord Voldemort." That seemed a little corny to me. I thought I laughed at it, but it was pretty funny. Dobby in this movie is a G. We'll talk a little bit more about him later. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie, but I mean, I can't get it above any of the other ones coming up. So number 5, I got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Now, I do think this is a good movie, and it's a lot of good setup, but it's really slow. And I think this is different from when you have Infinity War and Endgame, where they're both great movies. This one is very clearly if you just put Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 together, it's one really good long movie. This is basically the first half to the final movie, so it is a little slow. They only take out one Horcrux in the movie. And the movie contains the saddest thing for the sake of being sad ever when they kill Dobby. Come on now. They didn't need to be doing all that. That was too sad. But I think that, it is really good setup. It's a good first half if you watch part 1 and 2 together. I think, why are they burying the wand with Dumbledore? Come on now, playa. That's the one thing he needs, and it's just in his tomb. But I mean, great setup to Deathly Hallows Part 2. I got it ranked at number 5. All right, so top 4. I think that there are 4 pretty elite movies in Harry Potter. All of them are good, but these 4 are really, really good movies. And this might be a little of a controversial pick here at number 4, but I got Prisoner of Azkaban. I know a lot of people have this one at number 1, and I will say it probably is the easiest to watch on its own. If you're gonna pick one out and not have to know anything about the series, Prisoner of Azkaban is really good. I just think that when you stack it up with some of the other stuff, and for some reason it doesn't hit me as hard as it hits a lot of the other people. I like the twist of Sirius Black actually being a good guy and he's there to help Harry. You got werewolves and dementors, Michael Scott's least favorite thing about prison in here, which is pretty cool. One thing that I am very confused about is the whole time travel aspect is very fun, where they fix it all at the end. they never use it again in the series. And it seems like it could be something pretty helpful. I don't know if that's like a Harry Potter rule or whatever. It's just like for this one-time movie, but I would think that at some other point in the series they would want to use time travel. But I mean, really good movie. I understand why some people say it's their favorite, but I got it here at number 4. All right, so number 3, I got Goblet of Fire. Now, I think this one is a really good standalone movie as well, but it does kick off the plot. So I feel like the first 3 movies are kind of all set up, and then you get to number 4 and it kind of kicks off the plot. Voldemort's back now. I didn't understand it the first time watching through. I understood it a little better the second time, where the guy impersonating Mad-Eye Moody was kind of fixing the tournament to where Harry got transported to this graveyard, I guess, and then they brought Voldemort back with that. I think the whole tournament thing is really fun, where he's fighting the dragon and everything. Some of the different like challenges are really good. This is the most unsafe school in the world. They just keep letting kids come back and back and back every year, and then like they keep getting hurt or dying, and they're just like, oh yeah, I mean, it's whatever, Dumbledore's trying. But like, no, I don't understand. They got to protect the kids a little better. So I thought this one was really good. It was a fun watch. I think this one's a pretty good standalone movie too, but I got it here at number 3. Number 2, I got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, I think that this is a fantastic ending to the series, and I'm kind of a sucker for if you can stick the landing, like big epic cinema finales like Endgame, Revenge of the Sith, just anything like that, where like it's the big conclusion and you get it right. That's great cinema to me. I think that Snape is the best character in this series. He's my favorite. The whole twist, I wish I didn't know it before, where he took out Dumbledore in one of the previous movies, but it was because Dumbledore told him to, and then he had been protecting Harry the whole time. I think that Snape is just like the most in-depth character they have. He's a great addition. I do think Voldemort goes down a little easy once they kill the snake. It was kind of like he just like faded away. They let the Malfoys off way too easy too. They just run away after they've been causing havoc the whole time. Come on now. But this is just a great ending to the series, where then they show them 20 years later and they got kids. It's a really good ending. I don't know if they'll ever return and make more, but if this is the last we ever see of Harry Potter and Hermione and Ron, I mean, it's a great ending. So number 1, the movie I think is the best Harry Potter movie is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This is legitimately a really good film. I think that like while Deathly Hallows Part 2 is a little bit more epic, this one is a great movie. And I think that like with the tone of it and like the lighting, it's a lot like darker tone, but it's shot very well. And the twist at the end where Snape takes out Dumbledore is incredible. If you don't know what's going on and you're just like, oh, Snape took him out, and then like the whole thing setting that up where like Snape took an oath to protect Draco, and if Draco doesn't do it, he has to do it, and that's kind of how they get in that position. I wish I didn't know that going into it. It's so good. This one is a little slower paced, but it's like really good character stuff and build up. It's really interesting the whole time. I think it's the best one. The part where Snape is the Half-Blood Prince, they've been reading the book. There's my boy Snape again, contributing more to the series behind the scenes. It's great movie, great series. Just gotta give hats off to Harry Potter. So would I recommend the Harry Potter series? Yes, watch it. All of them really good, start to finish. It works really well as a whole series together. I feel like if you're gonna like watch one, you might as well watch them all. As I said, favorite character Snape. I think you can buy the set for like $40. I would do that, or they're on HBO. I forget how much HBO is a month, like $15. I would pay that to watch this. You can knock it out in a month. But I think it's a really good series and it's well worth your time. It's one of the best franchises we've had. I hope they revisit it someday because it's pretty good. So that is my ranking of the Harry Potter series. What did you think of it? I know that our lists are probably different. Let me know in the comment section below what your ranking of the Harry Potter movies are. Let me know what I got wrong. Please like and subscribe to the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time with another review.